Dear parents, my lovable and precious students, hope you are doing well at this present situation. I, Sameena Firdose from Everest Pre and Primary Schools, glad to inform you that we are all set to commence or start classes for the academic year 2020 and 21. It is unsafe to go outside. Isn't it? For that reason, please stay at home and be safe. Our management has decided during this condition, it's very difficult to commence school. Isn't it? For that reason, they have decided to start online classes for the situation get better. Isn't it? Now, I'll do 5th standard first chapter. The first chapter name is Love for Animals. What's the chapter name? The chapter name is Love for Animals. What's the chapter name? The chapter name is Love for Animals. Isn't it? Everybody, I think all human beings loves animals. Isn't it? We can see many animals around us. Like how many students love so much animals that you do something to animals? Yes or no? Yes, my students are very good and they are very helpful and very kind human beings. See, love for animals. See, in this you can come around one big character name, that is Ramana Maharshi. Okay, in this story you can identify his you can imagine what the good things he has done, how the person he is. Ramana Maharshi was a sage. Who was Ramana Maharshi? Ramana Maharshi was a sage. He loved animals and birds. He loved animals and birds. He was speaking with their language. He was speaking with them with their language. Whose language? Birds and animals language. Okay, I will start a new lesson for you. See, here two characters. One is the main character in which the stories go around is Ramana Maharshi. Okay, who is saying this story? Okay, we will start. The school bells ring. Okay, we know that our school, when we enter our schools, after it's 40 minutes, one bell will ring. Isn't it? First period, second period, totally in our school 8 periods are there. Morning at what time it will ring? At what time it will ring? It will ring at 9:25. What time it will be end up, our school end up with 3:45 or 3:50. Okay. The school bell rings. It is 4:15 in the evening. What's the time of ringing the bell? 4:15 in the evening. Lucy and Nitin are returning home from school. Who were returning home from school? Lucy and Nitin are returning home from school. They saw a man walking with his pet dog. Okay, what did they saw? They saw a man walking with his pet dog. Usually these people, many of the people, they will go morning walks with their dogs. Yes or no? I have seen many people who are taking their dogs. Morning also they will take, evening also they will take. They will take for walk. They saw a man walking with his pet dog. The man is trying to tell his dog something. The man is telling something. See, the people who will in their home, special dogs will be there. I have heard in my neighbor's house, American dog. He is so beautiful that every time he has separate thing for him, separate food, separate shampoo, separate soap. They will take care so much. The dog also is very happy. The people who are look aftering the dog, they are also very happy. Usually the people who look after, they will speak to them because they will live with the dog. They will speak whatever a dullness will be there in their lives. They will clarify with the dog. Isn't it? The dog seems to be answering him by barking. Even though the dog also speak. Who tell that animals they won't speak? Yes, of course, animals also they have feeling. They will speak to us. But the thing is, we won't, somebody won't understand the languages of animals. The people who love the dogs or any animal, they can understand their language very easily. They understand their feeling, what the dog is saying. Whether he is saying he has some pain, whether he is saying something, he is, see, lot of, like, we will give love to the pet dogs, pet animals like that, but they will give a lot of love in return. With what we are giving, he will give double to that. The dog seems to be answering him by barking, even though the dog is also saying, like, answering the question in his language, barking. Barking is nothing but bow bow. Everybody knows that one. Watching this, Lucy remembers Ramana Maharshi. Okay, this man is like around the dog. This man is around the dog. What he is doing? He is speaking with the dog. But the thing is, the dog also speak with him in his language. By seeing that situation, Lucy remembers that Ramana Maharshi. Come, we will see that who is Ramana Maharshi, what he has done, what he was loving, we will see. Lucy, do you know anything about Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi? See, Lucy is asking to Nitin. What he is asking? He is asking, do you know anything about Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi? He is asking. Enadru gotta nimage Ramana Maharshi ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ. Next, Nitin, no, I don't. What's special about him? No, I don't know anything about Ramana Maharshi. Please tell me, what's the special thing is there? What's the special thing that I cannot know? I don't know. No, cannot know. No, don't know. Lucy, Shri Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi loved animals and birds. He loved animals and birds. See, who loved animals and birds? Ramana Maharshi loved animals and birds. Who is saying about Ramana Maharshi now? See, Lucy is saying Ramana Maharshi story or topic to Nitin. Okay? Then Nitin, can you tell me more about Ramana Maharshi? He is very curious. He wants to listen more thing about Ramana Maharshi. For that reason, he is requesting to Lucy that please tell more thing about Ramana Maharshi. Lucy, listen, even animals were attracted to him. He spoke to them just as he would speak with people. What Lucy is saying, Ramana Maharshi was attracted to him, even though animals and birds also be attracted to him. He spoke to them. He is speaking like he is speaking to the normal person. He speaks like that. He speaks to animals like that in their languages. How they will call? We can continue. You can imagine how the situation is. You can imagine how the goodness of Ramana Maharshi. Next, Nitin, you mean just like the man we saw talking to his dog? Nitin is asking, just now we saw one man, no? He was talking with the dog like that. He said that, Lucy, yes. He called the dogs boys. What he was calling the dogs? Dogs, what Ramana Maharshi was calling to dogs? He was calling boys. He used to say, are the boys eating their food? He never called the dogs as dogs. Oh, that dog is eating, that dog is doing this one. No. He is always mentioning that what the boys are doing, what the boys are eating. Like that he is using, instead of dogs, he was using boys. Nitin, really? Truly? He is asking, Nijana anta he is asking. Lucy, really is nothing but Nijana. Lucy, yes, and he called his cow Lakshmi. He had one cow and his name was Lakshmi, cow Lakshmi. He used to say, give Lakshmi some rice. What Ramana Maharshi was saying to Lakshmi? He was saying that, give rice Lakshmi. Give Lakshmi some rice. Nitin, where did he keep all these animals? You are saying that all animals are living with him. Even though you said no dogs. Now you are saying cow. His name, her name is Lakshmi. You are mentioning name also. Where these animals are like living, where he is keeping those animals. Then Lucy is saying these animals lived in his ashram. See, anyhow we know that Ramana Maharshi was a sage, isn't it? He is living in ashram. With him all the animals are living. He always feed the animals and birds first. What he was doing? He was feeding. He was giving breakfast, he was giving lunch, he was giving dinner. First the animals should eat. Then after seeing the animals who is eating, then he will eat. He ate only after feeding them. Okay, first Ramana Maharshi, what he is doing? He was feeding animals. What after feeding the animals? He was having his food. Next, Nitin, even birds. You just said about for dogs, Lakshmi, cow, everybody. Birds also. He is saying what Lucy is saying. Lucy is saying yes. Ramana Maharshi called the peacocks by making sounds of their cries. How he is calling peacocks? He has peacocks also. How he is calling? He is calling and he is making sounds of their cries. How the peacock cries, he will make sound of that and he will call peacocks. Then they would go to him and eat the peanuts. What do you mean by peanuts? Peanuts is nothing but kalebija. Okay, what do you mean by peanuts? Peanuts is nothing but kalebija. They would go to him and eat the, see, he is making cry of peacock. And what the peacock do? They will go nearby to Ramana Maharshi and Ramana Maharshi feed by giving peanuts, rice and mangoes from his hands. He is not serving or he is not feeding with the help of his servants. No, he is going to feed with his hands. Are you understanding, students? Okay, next, Nitin. That's interesting. That's very interesting. What you are saying is very interesting. Lucy, will you please tell me more interesting stories about Ramana Maharshi and animals? He is very curious. Who is very curious? Nitin is very curious. He is getting more interest towards this story. For that reason, he is asking Lucy to say more things about, more stories about Ramana Maharshi. Then the story continues. Lucy is, now he is saying, yes, listen. One day Maharshi was sitting on a hillside. See, he is sitting on a hillside. Hillside is nothing but betta. Okay, now one side of the hill. What do you mean by hillside? One side of the hill. A snake crawled over his legs. What the snake was doing? He crawled over his legs. He did not move nor show any fear. See, if I see snakes suddenly, what I will do? What all will do? It's common, we will shout, isn't it? Yes or no? We will shout it. But the thing is, what Ramana Maharshi was doing? He was standing. The rest of the people who were surrounded with him, they are shocked. It's very difficult. If when we see the snake, that if we we won't react anything, how we feel, isn't it? Yes or no? I am very feared of snake. I think you are feared. A snake crawled over his leg. He did not move nor show any fear. He didn't show any fear. If we were there in the position of Ramana Maharshi, what we are doing? Like I said, that we will shout, isn't it? If we see any snake animal, that is, we know that will harm us. If they won't harm us also, we will shout it. That fear will be there. Yes or no? Yes. Later, someone asked him what he felt like when the snake snarled over his legs. What you did, what you felt, what has happened to you? You didn't react anything. The people were asking, what has happened to you? What is your, what to say? What is your, how you are feeling? What is the reaction? What has happened to you? If anything, if near my legs, some snake I found, I'll be like shouting and I'll be running out from that. Even though you didn't did like that. He replied, cool and soft. What the Ramana Maharshi said? He said, cool and soft. Nitin, my God, I would have cried and run away. Even though me also, oh my God, what has happened? I would have cried. Yes, by seeing that snake, maybe like Nitin and Lucy are children. So they are going for school and they are returning from school. They're small kids. Of course they will cry. He is saying, who is saying? Nitin is saying, oh my God, I would have cried and run away. Did anyone kill the snake in the ashram? Anybody he is asking? What has happened? Who is asking? Nitin is asking. For whom he is asking? For Lucy. Who is asking? For whom he is asking? He is asking for Lucy. For like what's the story? He is listening. He is listening the story of Ramana Maharshi. He loved the pets. He loves the like what to say cow. Every animals he loved. He loved birds also. Next, Nitin, he said that, oh my God, I would have cried and run away. Did anyone kill the snake in the ashram? He is asking the question. Anybody like somebody has been troubled the snake? Then what the answer will be? Lucy. Ramana Maharshi never allowed people to kill snakes in his ashram. Ramana Maharshi was never allowed. He won't accept that nobody should kill the animals. I think that was the rule of that ashram. Ramana Maharshi did not allow any people to kill snakes in his ashram. He said, we have come to their home and we have no right to trouble them. What Ramana Maharshi is saying? This ashram is not mine. Snake's house, animal's house. We have come to their place. Okay, they have not come to our place. We have come to their place. Who is saying? Ramana Maharshi is saying. For whom he is saying? The question who has asked, for them he is saying, we have come to their home and we have no right to trouble them. They do not trouble us. They won't trouble us. They won't affect us. They won't do anything for us. Why we should do something to them? For that reason, we should not do anything and we should not kill animals. Oh, we are nearing our homes. Oh, Lucy and Nitin are near to their homes. By this has been said by Nitin. This has said to Lucy. This has said to Nitin from Lucy. Lucy is saying the story of Ramana Maharshi to Nitin. From the returning time period, he has said this story. They are nearby to their house. Next, I will continue the story tomorrow. What Lucy is saying, I will continue the story tomorrow. Here we can find out that if Lucy is saying story to Nitin, I think they are friends. They are friends. For that reason he is saying. Who are Nitin and Lucy? Nitin and Lucy were friends. Who are Nitin and Lucy? Nitin and Lucy were friends. See, here I want to say one thing about this one. See, if friendship is there, then we have to for that reason he is saying story. What do you mean by friendship? What is friendship? And I think you know that one. A friendship is a relationship between two people who like or love each other. Isn't it? So beautifully it's said. What is friendship? Friendship is a relationship between two people who love each other. Isn't it? Yes or no? Then you just comment me who are your best friends. Nitin, I think even your friends also have said many stories to you. Nitin, yes, thanks a lot. Who told you all these stories? Nitin is asking, who told you these stories? These beautiful stories. Who told you? Then what Lucy is saying? My grandmothers know a lot of stories. Who knows a lot of stories? Lucy's grandmothers know lot of stories. She tells us stories every day. What she do? She do usually grandmas, they are so beautiful and pretty. They help us so much. They face difficult time in our times, isn't it? Our difficult times are that they will face with us, isn't it? Yes or no? They are so lovable. Every time they will be spreading love, isn't it? Yes or no? We love our grandmas, grandparents very much. Yes or no? I think now also you are safe in your grandparents' house. Next, what Nitin said, thanks a lot. What he did for Lucy, he said that thanks a lot. Who told? He's asked question. Who said this stories? Then Lucy replied that my grandmother knows a lot of stories. She tells a story every day. She was telling story of Ramana Maharshi, and she was saying different types of stories to me. She is very good and she is pretty for me. She is like heroine for me. Then bye. Who is saying bye? Lucy. Because they are near to their house. They are reaching their home, soon. For that reason, he is saying bye. Then Nitin, that's wonderful. Tell me more tomorrow. See you. Bye. He is asking. Who is saying? Both friends, they are saying that tomorrow we will meet. Tomorrow it will be like nice day for you. Thank you. Still it's there.